Welcome everyone to our second session for our group counseling. Do you remember the ground rules that we said at the last meeting that we had?
Yes.
I remember some of them. Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
Some of them? Okay. Can you tell me one that you remember?
Yes, not to use your cell phones.
Okay. Jose, do you?
Listen with respect.
All right, Elizabeth.
Be honest.
Yes, that's correct. And so the other ones, make sure that you don't interrupt each other. Keep an open mind. Everything we say is confidential and it stays in this group. And of course, no electronics. When we said confidential, I just want to make something really clear that if you tell me something about an abuse or something that has affect you physically or emotionally, it's something that I have to, by law, report it and it will be out of this group. So it's something that I will have to report. Okay, I just want to make sure that it's clear. Okay, all right. So now I want you to. I looked at your papers and the things that you wrote about stressful situations. And for example, Elizabeth, you said taking a test is a stressful situation for you. And I think that's for most people. Talking in front of a class, your parents. So how this stress do you feel like affects your emotions?
Well, I think it's just making me feel nervous and maybe no concentrating, and it just stressed me out because I feel like I'm just not focusing on what I need to.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think you're acting like yourself when you're under stress?
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm. So, what about you, Jose David? You mentioned one of the things is that also talking in front of people or taking a test or even homework, you put your number one homework. So, how does this affect your emotions or the way you are?
I think I start overthinking things and start getting nervous and think about what people are going to say or think. And that gets me really stressful. And I start feeling anxiety. And I start feeling like I don't want to do things.
Mm-hmm. So, Juan, you said not knowing what career I want, which is pretty obvious for a senior. You're exploring and to still trying to find out what's your goal or what's your career and if it's gonna work or not. So it's very normal for a student, for a senior, work or college. So how these affect your emotions?
It puts more pressure on me, so it keeps me from concentrating on the things that I'm doing now. For example, my classes, my grades, and it has me thinking about a lot of things except what I really need to focus on.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the techniques that I wanted to talk to you about now is it's about mindfulness. Have you heard about mindfulness?
A little bit, but I never take the class or the course for the mindfulness.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard about mindfulness?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So mindfulness is a technique that has been used. Actually, was born many years ago, and it was used on medicine and psychology. And now it's used also in education. Many of the schools now are using mindfulness in their classrooms. And this is a way to help students reduce the stress and anxiety that they have. So we have to be conscious that we live in a world that is changing constantly. And so we, as educators, understand that our students come to the classroom with anxiety, with emotions. And in order for us to get them to concentrate in what we want you guys to learn is to make you aware and be present in the classroom. So mindfulness, like I said, is a technique, and it's like paying attention to what your body is telling you, being aware of your own experiences. It can be mindfulness can be considered a trade state practice. Mindful awareness has specific qualities that make it different from just being attentive. So you can see it or understand it as a way to understand what you're doing and be present. For example, when I drive to work every morning, I just get in the car and then I get to work, and I'm driving and I'm in automatic. I know where to get out and everything, but sometimes I don't pay attention really to the cars, and I'm just thinking, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I get to work, or sometimes even after work I get to the house and I don't know really how I got there, but I know I got there. So, or even when you're walking on the hallway and you don't pay attention to the people around you, right? You just go to class and you don't really pay attention to how your classmates are doing, their expressions, and how it's the climate at the school. So it's just a way to just be attentive to what is around you, understanding the causes of happiness and the causes of stress and dissatisfaction. As we learn to pay attention to experience, we begin to find a way of living what really works for us. So today I'm going to introduce you to a practice of an activity of mindfulness. It's only a 2-minute activity, and it's called counting breaths exercise. And just like I said, it's just an introduction to the way our mind works. So during this exercise, I'm going to ask you to, when you're going to hear anchor words. So that means that you have to concentrate on your breathings. And when you feel like you're losing, you're not counting anymore, just try to concentrate on anchor words, it can be like in, out, or you can say high, low. Those are some of the anchor words. You can come up with different words, but just want to let you know that this activity really helps to reduce stress, and it helps your body regulate your body, self-aware, emotional regulation, and fear modulation. So when you So one of the activities that we're gonna do, it needs to be in a quiet place. So I'm gonna give you some homework for after this class for you to do at home. But I just want to make sure that when you do this, you're in a quiet place and where you feel comfortable. Okay. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Counting breaths. To begin this exercise, you can sit in a comfortable position. Go ahead and close your eyes and find your breath by breathing in deeply and then letting your breath out. Taking another deep breath, letting it out. Now allow your breath to just be normal. Just easy breaths. And begin to count each breath. When you find yourself distracted from counting the breath, maybe your mind wanders, maybe you find yourself on breath number 9 but don't remember breath 7 or 8, come back to breath 1 and begin again. Each time you get distracted or find yourself on automatic pilot, come back to 1. You can now open your eyes and continue reading the letter.
All right. So how do you feel?
Feel relaxed.
Was it difficult to count your breaths?
I think it was difficult because you have to be listening to what she's saying, so it was a little bit like, but no, it was. I was able to continue counting my breath, breathing.
I had to restart 3 times.
Yeah. At first, then later on, I got the hang of it.
Yeah. So this is only a 2-minute practice, and as you get used to it, you can do it longer. You can do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 20 minutes. It really helps you just relax and take a moment and to open your eyes and see, okay, this is where I am, and I feel a little bit more relaxed. And the goal of this is just to, I know it's difficult to count your breaths because you're thinking about the, for example, like different thoughts come to your mind, right? Like, is everybody doing it? Am I the only one with my eyes closed? Or, so as you start practicing this, and it's up to you. But I really want you to practice it because you'll notice a difference. It will help you feel, like I said, more relaxed. And even if you want to do it before going to bed, that's also an option. Or if you feel like you feel stressed out, you're in a situation where I'm gonna take a test, or I'm gonna speak in front of the class. Or I'm about to fill out this college application and I feel so stressed out right now. Just take a moment and try to concentrate on your breaths. Just take a little break and just realize, okay, relax and be aware of what you're doing and who you are, and control your emotions. Okay. So, how many times you want to practice, that is up to you. But I want to give you just a brief introduction of what you can do to help you reduce stress in your life.
Cool.
Okay. So, I'm gonna give you your homework, and just remember that the most important thing is just to keep going, and because you can be sure that whatever you experience is mindfulness. Okay, and like I said, one way of thinking of this is just a technique, it's a practice or a technique. So I'm going to give you your assignment for next session. And there's also a little bit more information about mindfulness. Here you go, Elizabeth. David. And on this paper, I want you to log the date and the number of minutes that you were able to do it. Like I said, you can do, usually most people, they can do like 10 minutes, because then you start thinking about other things. You start hearing the noise that you hear in the background, or you start thinking, your mind starts to wander. And so, try to concentrate and see if you can do it for maybe 5 minutes. To be honest, when I did this, took this class, I wasn't able to do it 5 minutes straight for my first week. So here is your paper, your log, so you can keep the date and the minutes, your questions, notes, whatever feeling you have while you're doing this activity. I just want you to write it down, or if you have any questions, you write it down, and we'll try to answer. I'll try to answer those questions, and I'll read your comments at the next session. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No. So when is our next session? When is
Our next session will be next week, on Wednesday at the same time.
Oh,
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much for participating, and I'll see you next week.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.